Hello everyone, I'm Grace. Welcome to my channel, The Blooming Notice in Paramita. Today we are going to talk about repenting misdeeds and evil karma, which is an essential Dharma gate, however, has been ignored by many of us. The Sanskrit word chamayati originally means endure. A book called Send Word for Home from South Ocean said, Chamayati is a Western vocabulary, means endure, which indicates asking the forgiveness from the others. Asking people do not blame us. The implication to ask others to endure and forgive me for doing something that hurt him or her. But confession is far from enough. We also need to have regrets, that is, regretting for what we did before, for those things violate our values. It is to remove the envelope from our heart because of our karma. And it helps achieve inner balance and purity at the same time. With this foundation, our self-esteem can be re-established. With this self-esteem, we are able to move forward on the path of spiritual practice. In other words, confession is more like speaking out our ambitions. I want to throw away all those garbage that's because of my sin or my karma. I want to have a new start for my life and cultivations, and go whole 9 yards to the Buddhahood. Although it takes a lot of determination and courage, it won't be a cakewalk to implement also, but I decided I have to do it. As we all know that from a psychological point of view, confession can obtain unrepressed, frank, and open facts. In some religions, confession is a crucial spiritual therapy. A priest, a translucent window, and a singer make up a unique ritual therapy. However, the exquisiteness of Buddhism Dharma is not about ritual. Confession is not owning to let people honestly face what they did before, but also to have the effect of every day I examine myself for 3 counts, so that people can realize their mistakes in time, thus avoiding deviate from the direction of cultivations. The most important thing is no one has forgiven you on behalf of Buddha or God. On the contrary, it inspires us to seek answers and relief from the inside world. Because we are the Buddhas, and all beings have wisdom and virtue like Buddha. Each of us will become Buddha someday, which is exactly the essence of Buddha's teaching. The source of Tao and self-nature is not far away. You seek inwards, not from outside. In practice, it is more subtle that since the Buddha was alive, the monks gathered every half month to hold the chanting ritual. Everyone had to confess their evil thoughts, speeches, and behaviors. It wasn't even a quiet or secretly confession, but have a lot of witnesses. We can think about that, which creates more pressure. Repent to one person or repent to a group of people. The latter it is, of course. But is those things seems embarrassing and shameful from the aspect of ordinary people helps us to let go of our self-ego one at a time. It might be quite embarrassing right off the bat, but when we can cry and regret our evil karmas and feel that our heart have been cleaned and become a brandy new person, we know that so-called shame or embarrassing is not important at all. Furthermore, after confession, we vowed never to commit again. However, this promise is not easy to keep. Just like I really like snacks. I understand that eating too much is not good for my health. However, it could be difficult for me if I get used to it. But when I tell a friend of mine that I decide to quit the snacks, the story changed. At least he or she can give me a little bit of supervise. Even I really want some snacks badly, I can restrain easily because I told people, right? Then, when I reached a stage goal, I'm also more likely to receive a positive feedback from that friend, promoting me to be more motivated to keep going on, to stick on it. Psychologically, this is called because of others watching, resulting in an increased efficiency in social activities. I know that you may not need any supervision, however, for a long-time target, such as spiritual practice, everyone, I mean literally everyone, needs more positive feedbacks at some time or another. Uncertainty sometimes drives us crazy if we cannot get any response from any people. Through confession, we could establish a short-term evaluable system for ourselves, like, have I made the same mistake again? Which makes our cultivation process meaningful, and with our appropriate periodic feedback, our cultivation will become easier to persevere, which brings great benefit to our spiritual cultivations. From the 10 vows of Bodhisattva Samantabhadra, it is said that all the evil deeds I have committed hitherto during the kalpas without beginning of the past, caused by the emotion of lust, hatred, and stupidity, leading to bodily, speech, and mental actions are boundless. If such deeds were corporeal and in form, all the cosmic spaces, unlimited as it is, could not contain them. I now confess and repent them all by my 3 purified deeds and with a sincere heart, plaguing myself not to commit an evil deed hereafter. The Earth Sutra also said, in Jambudvipa, every single mind of being is evil and sin. So we have to always keep myself pure in prohibitive precepts and in all active moral deeds. I will lay these patience before all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of all worlds and numbers to the smallest dust motes. My patience will cease when the void of space is ended, the spheres being are ended, the karmas of beings are ended. The sorrows of beings are all ended. But as all the things from the void of space to the sorrows of beings are endless, so also is my patience endless. Thought succeeding thought without interruption in bodily, vocal, and mental deeds, without weariness. Repenting is a kind of cultivation we have always do. Still, confession should not be attached to the evil karma nor to the confession itself, but to change our mind through such an action or method to enlighten the source of the heart, find the treasure of ourselves, to attain the enlightenment of no self-ego. The existence of sin or karma is not inseparable from the realms, and it is also one of the Dharma gate. Whether it is eliminated or not depends on the consciousness of people. Therefore, sin or karma itself is born and disappear by fate, which means that it doesn't have the self-nature. It is just a delusion. The so-called sin and Dharma are just for people to understand. Don't attach to them. It is only because the sentient beings are attached to the things they have, there is a real sense of sin and karma. Once we break the attachment to everything and attain the realm of no self-ego, the evil karma will disappear, which is also the principle of the confession. Just like old Sifu said, the Gatakuta mountain is not far away that you can arrive by enlightenment. The gathering in the garden Chitavana Vihara is still going on that we can join by eliminating the self-ego. Lastly, I want to say that enlightenment is the goal that we have been pursuing. What is the opposite of the enlightenment then? It is insensitive. If a person could not be aware of his or her actions, thoughts, and speeches, he or she will create evil karma and go to the lower level realm. If such a process could be quantified to a curve, it would be a spiral downward or sometimes even a straight downward shape. Movement produces potential energy. With the acceleration of gravity, this downward trend is getting faster and faster. So what is the confession? Confession is like a brake. It's something that allows you to stop suddenly. Since the moment when the emotion of the confession was born, we are already re-evaluating our values and thinking about the meaning of our behaviors. This emotion that feels we are wrong is extremely precious. It represents that we are no longer insensitive. At this point, we can change the direction of the movement. And the trajectory of life changes from downward to upward, only by our thoughts. From this perspective, confession itself is a kind of enlightenment. A person without enlightenment will never confess their evil karmas. Because this requires courage of facing our ugly past, but also a sense of responsibility to all beings, restraining ourselves from hurting others with our behavior, speech, and mind. The public confession will also remind others not to follow people's mistake. So when we done this Dharma talk, please spare some time with yourself and ask your heart, what is you always regretted, however you probably never found it. When you shed tears in your hands in the silent night, when you swear never to commit again, you will experience the beauty of confession and cultivations. Well, this is our Dharma talk today. Thank you very much for your listening. Although it is difficult, I hope every one of you can experience the beauty and the peace from the repenting misdeeds and evil karma. If you like my channel, please subscribe it and give me some comments. I'll see you next week. Bye!